So we can start.
Hello and namaskar everyone. My name is Dhirendra and I welcome you all at this webinar which is organized by Window Society and is sponsored by HDFC Bank. So in this series of the innovative ideas and case studies that we have been discussing so far, today we would be discussing another case study called New Age Teaching Techniques. This innovative these innovative techniques in this case study is from TIA, that is Teacher Innovation Award booklet, TIA-1 booklet. So, as I told you earlier in my previous video as well, that in TIA we got the ideas or we collected the ideas from the teacher, regardless of the school they are in, whether they are in the government schools or are in the private schools or in the coaching institutes or professors or college professors for that matter. So we received number of ideas. We have got 54 innovative ideas in this, and the case study that, as I told you, we would be discussing in this case, in this video, in this webinar, is New Age Teaching Technique, and there would be 5 innovative ideas that I would be discussing with you all within this duration of today's webinar. So let's first understand the what is New Age Teaching Technique. It is a collection of 3 words, or rather 4 words: New Age, teaching, and technique. We all know that the education or way of teaching and learning has evolved throughout these years, and the biggest challenge for any teacher is capturing the attention of each student in the class. But when students are encouraged and teacher use different ideas, this gives the student a freedom to explore, think, analyze, understand, and make out best out of each and every moment in their life. This gives a 360-degree approach, and 360-degree development is provided to the student by using the different innovative techniques. So the innovative idea or the case study that would be talking about is based on resolving real life cases through group analysis, brainstorming, innovation, and creative ideas. So let me have a discussion on each of the innovative technique. What are these innovative techniques? So the first innovative technique that we would be discussing today is exit ticket. What is exit ticket? We all know that student feedback is something which is the most important feedback in the teaching learning process, because the job or the role or the responsibility of the teacher is to teach the student. And if learning outcomes are not achieved in the class, if the students are not able to understand, if the students are not able to learn, so in that case all the energy of the teacher is wasted. So for obvious reasons, the feedback of the student is something which is very important. And for the same reason, teacher came up with an innovative idea, innovative technique, which is exit ticket. So in this ticket, what happens is teacher, after explaining a chapter, asks the fundamental question from the topics or chapter or the points that has been taught in the class. So teacher asks the very basic points from the student, and the student will have to write down the answers. For example, teacher will ask the basic questions like, tell me the 2 important points that you have learned in this topic. What is something in this topic which fascinated you most? So these are the fundamental or generic questions that teacher would be asking from the student, and the student will have to write down their answers. So automatically, when the teacher gives the time to the student to write down the answers, the student will write down. Teacher will get to know their feedback by just checking the answer. If majority of the students are not able to give the answer, it simply mean that the specific topic or chapter need to be taught again to the student. So teacher does the same. If the students are not able to give the answers, then teacher will repeat or revise the same chapter again or same topic again, so that the student could have a proper grasping of that chapter. So this is how it is done. So the exit ticket, as I told you, cover the simple questions like explain any three key terms for the topic, or which one or two points require further explanation. So this innovative technique and these kind of questions gives a holistic approach to the teacher and to the students at the same time. So this is the innovative idea, very small one, but it is something which is very beneficial, very useful. Why I'm saying that? Because we all are concerned or bothered as a teacher that we teach and we give our best shot by teaching in the class. But when it comes to recapitulate or revise, the student don't do that. The teacher, when he'll or she'll ask the student to come prepared with the chapter, they usually either won't come prepared or they won't come to school. So in order to revise or recapitulate, the best thing that is done by the teacher here is to ask the student generic questions, fundamentals of that specific topic and chapter, and then ask the student to give the answer, which will help the student to recapitulate what they have learned, what they have got to know from the teacher, and when they will write it down, the same thing, it will be there in their memory for longer duration. So this is the innovative idea called exit ticket. Moving on to, and I hope you must have liked this innovative idea. Moving on to second innovative idea, which I personally like a lot, and this innovative idea is adopt a friend. We all know that each child is unique and every student has his unique points. There are some students who are good in mathematics. There could be other students who could be good in science. There could be another set of the students who are good in English or language for that matter. There are some students who have flair in writing and drawing. So there are some students who have strong soft skills like communication, personal habits, teamwork, etc. So since each student is different, teacher came up with an innovative technique which is called adopt a friend. And this innovative technique called adopt a friend, a student is adopted by another student. And similarly, that student would be adopted by another student. So each and every student in the class is adopted by his fellow classmate. So for example, one student is good in mathematics and the other student is good in drawing. So the student who is good in drawing can teach about or can help the student who is good in mathematics, and the student who is good in mathematics can help the student who is good in drawing in mathematical portion, right? So in this way, each and every student will get the support of each other, and they will be moving on, they will be working effectively, they will be working toward the holistic approach. Each and every student within the class would move towards the learning area, would move towards to achieve the holistic approach within the class. So this is how it is done. So there could be two ways of adoption. One is single adoption. Single adoption means that one student is adopted by a single student. But in multiple adoption, one student, instead of adopting a single student, he is adopting number of students. For example, suppose one kid is very good in drawing. So he says that, okay, sir, I will adopt multiple students and I'll teach them how to draw. So he could have 4 to 5 set of students, and this student who is good in drawing can help the other students to do well, right? So this is how it is done. Now, in both ways, the teacher ensures that each student adopts at least one student, and that each and every student gets adopted by another set of students. So each and every one, whoever is in the class, each and every student is adopted and has adopted at least one student within that class. The objective of this activity is not to differentiate between weak or strong student. The objective is to bring each and every student at the same level of understanding and learning. First, to work for the holistic development of students. Second, third, to make each and every student realize that each and every student has got this or that special or unique feature which he or she should learn from that. So definitely it gives the student a sense of self-respect. It gives a sense of mutual understanding, mutual respect, teamwork, care, and responsibility at the same time. So I'm sure this idea is liked, and I'm sure you would be liking this idea of India. And you could also implement this innovative idea at your school as well. In case you would be having any question, or I would like to request you all that in case you have a question, or you want to share your experiences, or you want to give the feedback regarding the session that or the innovative ideas that you have been implementing in your class, you're most welcome. You could give your suggestion, your ideas, share your experiences at the end of the webinar, where I will give you a time to share your ideas or ask questions or tell me about the innovative idea that you are implementing in your school. Let me also tell you that this is a national platform where teachers across the nations are watching you. So your experience, if you would be sharing, could be beneficial to the other teachers first. And secondly, other teachers will also get to know about the innovative idea that you are implementing within your schools. Now moving on to third innovative idea, which is Man Ki Baat. We all know, and I'm sure we all have listened to these three words a number of times, Man Ki Baat, and these three words for sure has been famous by none other than our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji. So our teacher also thought of implementing, because be a student from rural areas or from the towns or from the big cities, metro cities, they all have heard about this Man Ki Baat, because in radios, TVs, news channel, in newspaper, everywhere we have seen Mr. Narendra Modi doing Man Ki Baat on Sundays. So today we would be discussing about this third innovative technique, which is Man Ki Baat. We all know the importance of starting a day with a good note. We all have been through days when we are unable to express ourselves and we feel caged. The same happens with the students. And if in case the student get a platform where they could share their feelings, where they could have their experiences shared with the teachers and their classmates, this is definitely going to help them to come out of that uncomfortable zone. And for the same reason, teacher said that, sir, there are a number of reasons where due to which students are not able to share their feelings. For example, usually when we talk about metro cities or talk for the rural areas as well, mother and father, both the parents are working. So they don't have much time to spend with their kids. So a student faces number of challenges in their life, but they don't have anyone to share with. Parents are either busy or they are not ready or not concerned to know what the student is facing. Because we at a point of time start believing, we as a parent and we as a teacher at a point of time start believing that there are certain challenges that is to be faced by each and every person, each and every individual. We were also student and we face their situation like fighting with the classmates and all. I do agree with that. But if you will listen to your kids, if you will listen to your student, that will definitely bring out them from that uncomfortable zone, from the mental torture that they have been going through. So Monkey Bath could be a very innovative idea which could be implemented within the school. With this, what teacher does is when the student come to school in the morning, after the assembly prayer and after the attendance, there is a special 30 minutes of 30 minutes of lecture is dedicated to this activity called Man Ki Baat. That 30 minutes of lecture of 30 minutes could be given a name like zero period. So in zero period, students get the time where they could share their experiences, what is happening in their life, and this is done in a lighter note, where the students are not just, and teacher remains friendly with the students. So the students will come up with whatever thoughts they have in their mind. If they have any challenges, any problem that they are facing, they could those challenges or problems could also be resolved when the teacher will understand and when the teacher will know how the student is going through in his life or her life. So this idea is implemented on a daily basis during the attendance or after the morning prayers or after the attendance. There would be a time for zero period. Under this zero period, the teacher will give the time to the student to share their experiences. These experiences will be shared by the students. The student will be sharing what is going on, what is happening in their life. And after that, the teacher and the student can decide the theme also for the next day. For example, For example, the teacher could set up a theme for the same. For example, they could set a theme with the help of a student that tomorrow the theme would be poem. So a student will come to school, they will talk about or they will recite a poem which could be from their syllabus or which couldn't be from their syllabus. So the student will come to the stage, they'll recite the poem. Even if they have written something, they could recite that as well, which give a area of improvement, a area for the student, for the child to bring his inner qualities of writing, reading, speaking, drawing, painting, or any challenge that he or she is facing within his or her class. If any student feel hesitant in expressing himself or herself, then the teacher motivates the student to open up. The students are also encouraged to share their personal problems or any difficulties or any situation that they are facing at their community, at home, or at a school. Or if anyone is harassing them, they are also free and they should feel free to share their experiences and the challenges with the teachers at the same time. This activity relaxes the student and the student feel much more connected, much more related to the class and to the schools and to the teachers at the same time. Moving on to next innovative idea, which is the student as a resource person. Why this idea came into picture? Let's have a discussion on the same. We all know that in a school, each day there are a number of activities which are carried out. And at times, there are situations when schools do not have adequate teachers or staff member to carry these activities. Teacher thought, our innovator thought that in this activity, why can't we encourage the student to come and participate in their various activities? This will also get a chance to student to enhance their talent and become a resource for the school in classroom. The student not only contribute to school or classroom activities, but they also conduct a workshop for other students. So in this activity, the students are trained by the teachers because we all know that there are in schools there are a number of workshops that are arranged, and many a time the volunteer or the people from other areas are called or other places are called to come at a school and to deliver their speeches. Teacher said that, sir, what we do is we will teach their student, these students, our students, will train them so that they could work as a resource person for the class or for the school. After that, once these students are trained, after receiving the training from our end, they the students' quality is automatically improved, and at the same time, the same set of students now work as a resource person for the entire school. So during the time when teachers are absent or teachers are busy in the meeting, these set of students can play a very crucial, very important role to teach the fellow student, to train the fellow students at the same time. Various workshops are also organized in the schools for all other students on Saturday. For example, if a cooking workshop is organized in the school, so the student who are from this community, these students take care of this entire Saturday's theme or Saturday activity, that how the theme would be, what are all the dishes that need to be prepared, what are the recipes that would be required. So this responsibility, which earlier was assigned to a teacher, and teacher was very much involved in this, now these students themselves will take their responsibility, and then they could be able to, then they would be able to achieve this activity in a much more easier way, and the teacher will get a lot more space to teach the students during this time, right? Now the another and the fifth activity, the last activity under this case study that we would be discussing is multi-subject learning steps. What is subject learning steps? The small learning steps of all subjects of every class are prepared by the teachers for sure, and teacher could also take the help of the students. These steps contain one-word answers questions from every topic which has to be discussed in the class. These steps can be maths, English, Hindi, or science for that matter. So it depends upon the picture. The teacher could also involve the pictorial representation in the class. If the teacher is much more creative, she could also draw the pictures, because as we have been discussing in the previous activities, I'm sure you have watched the video. If you haven't, you could watch the innovative new age teaching technique video that I have made. So as we all know that the pictures are stored in our mind stores data mostly in the form of pictures. So if the student sees the pictorial representation, that pictorial representation will be in his mind or her mind for a longer duration. So the teacher could also do the pictorial representation if he or she is creative, or could decorate these strips in the number of forms the teacher want to. So how it is implemented in the class? This innovative technique is very useful for primary classes. Students enjoy learning in a creative way. We all know that, and we all want to come to the monotony of the teaching and learning each and every day. The same happens with the students as well. So they love learning through pictures and games, we all know. Recapitulation through strips makes the topic easy to understand. So in this technique, what happens is that a teacher makes a different kind of strips for each subject, each topics, and for each class. These strips are hanged in the wall. And as I told you that these are one word answer questions. Answers are written over there along with the question. Every time when the student walks, as I told, that these strips are hanged in the wall within the class. So the teacher or the students, when he walks around the class, when he enters, when he goes outside, or when he sits in the class, he sees the answers to those questions. He sees these steps, and these steps also promote learning by seeing, because we all know the more will be the number of the senses that we involve, the more strong will be our learning. So when the student listen from the teacher, when they write the answer, when they see the answers, we all know that this will create a long lasting impact, and these answers will be there, or these concepts will be there in the mind of students for a longer duration, and which is very beneficial, which is very effective for recapitulating the chapter. So this is how this innovative idea called multi-subject learning steps could be carried out. So these are the innovative ideas, 5 innovative ideas under case study, new age teaching technique that I discussed with you all today. If you have any question or if you have any experiences that you would like to share with me, if you have any of your feedback or suggestion that you could give to improvise the innovative techniques, or if you want to add up your innovation to these innovative techniques, you're most welcome. I would also like to tell you that the teachers across the nation are listening to you all. So I'll be glad, and I'm sure you would also be glad to know that if your ideas are getting implemented or by the other teachers, or if with your experiences, other teachers could learn at the same time. So if you have any questions, any experience that you want to share, please feel free to do that. I'm listening to you. If you have any questions in your mind regarding any activity, or how to get award, how to get nominated, how to submit your ideas, please feel free to ask me. Okay, I'm saying it again. If you have any question, any queries, any experience that you want to share, please feel free to do that. I'm listening to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for listening me. This is Dhiren. Hello. This is Dhiren signing off. Namaskar.